We are already live, by the way.
Let's see here, how do I find you over here on EU?
You enter FizzBen or hashtag 2370 and send me a friend request.
Mic sound good?
Yeah, mic sounds perfect. 2370 FizzBen.
Gotcha.
There we go. And let me do this. And now you can be in the clan over here as well.
Awesome.
All right. Let's see. CTL week 7. Why don't we start with Siegfried? Let's have a quick look at the map matchups. It's going to be Solus versus Dras, Random versus Protoss. Then we have Asmodine versus Coast, which is a TVP. Havoc versus Anti-Mew. It's PvP. And then TVZ, Anne versus Power Thirsty. And then Missing Nama versus Duddles, which is ZVZ. I think we have all the matchups this week. Look at it. Except TVT. No TVTs. If you remember, last week was super TVT heavy. There were so many TVTs last week.
And TVT is such a mystery to me.
Yeah, same here. Well, I guess we can talk about every match here. There's always a Zerg or a Protoss present, so we should be good. We should be super good. Just hop into game 1 of the Siegfried series. Loading in.
So you'll have to forgive me. I'm not sure about... So what is the standing situation in CTL? I only joined last week.
Well, basically, if we win this week, we make playoffs. If we lose this week, we don't make playoffs.
Gotcha.
So
let's hope it went well then.
We start with the ace match, which is a best of 3 actually. And whoever wins this gets 1 map score, technically. We just find the score, which is here. There we go. And then you can introduce the first player, like whoever players the camera on, and I will do the second one.
Oh, of course, I get to announce the unannounceable. Okay, and in the top left corner, we have our pink Zerg. I'm going to butcher this. Vedi Nevin.
From Formless Bearsloths. That wasn't too bad. Facing off versus our green Terran, it's the Terran mastermind, it's Siegfried. From All Inspiration. And yeah, looks pretty standard from both players here. Zerg taking his early expansion as usual, and Terran of course going for the Rex into gas, or gas into Rex, whichever came first. I don't know. There's also no suspicious SCVs moving across the map. It's only the scouting one so far, so no proxies are being had as well either.
And the pink Zerg should know that, which that's what I'm going to call him. But he sent his overlords looking for pride.
Indeed, I think your mic sensitivity might be a bit too high, so it cuts you off when you stop when at the end of your sentence. Just so you know.
Gotcha.
Okay, Siegfried now taking his expansion as well, is aware what the Zerg is doing, of course, due to scouting. Nothing out of the ordinary, so no super early aggression coming from the Zerg. And it looks like Siegfried will not do anything crazy either. Factory is not yet built, will be probably starting up soon now that he has the gas. But off one gas turn cannot be very aggressive as either, unless he builds a lot of marines, of course.
Speed's already on the way, and looks pretty normal from the Zerg. He's already pulled off a...
Yes, indeed, the Reaper will be deterred by the Zerglings, might take out a few, maybe one or two, if the Zerg is not careful, because unspeededlings cannot keep up with a Reaper. The Queen, though, will deter him, of course. And an SCV is moving across the map again. Now, this is suspicious. Okay, let's follow this guy. What's he gonna do? Is it gonna be a proxy starport with Banshees or something? So that would make sense, right? The timing would be impeccable.
Yeah, he's getting there right about as the factory's finishing up here.
No, it just looks like he's gonna scout for some reason. That seems to be weird. Okay.
Wayne did a good job of zoning out the Reaper.
Absolutely.
Preventing the third from being...
Well, that SCV must be a misrally, right? Why would you send an SCV over there to mine minerals and then go back home? That makes no sense. Siegfried, what are you doing? We'll take out this Overlord, though, which is a nice pick-up, because it will supply block the Daneven even further. But it spots the Hellions coming out, which... If you know Siegfried, he likes to go over with a Reaper and some Hellions to make some fuss, but that's usually in TVT. I don't know what he does in TVZ. But it looks like it's a Reaper Hellion push all the same. Probably waiting for 2 more Hellions. There we go. And then he'll try to make something happen over here. There's not much for defense here. 8 buildings now being made. And I think those 4 Hellions can take out 8 Lings, unless the Queens are gonna help, of course. No drones here yet. We'll take out the Larva, though. And will then be deterred by the massive Queens that have arrived here at this ramp now. He could probably sneak around down here, but Zerglings are being pre-split and just await the Hellions' pleasure so they can surround them.
Wasn't without a tiny bit of damage. We had all the Queens pulled from the hatches for a moment, but we're already up to 6 Queens.
Yeah, the Queens have been replenished, and we have now at least 3 designated Creeper Queens. They can, of course, defend these Hellions easily.
Looks like Siegfried's gonna go into some bio play. We got double Evo from...
Double Evo and an explosion of barracks. And third as well.
Sneaky Liberator coming up here to the... Oh, but the Hellions got surrounded. Well, some of them did.
It took a lot of Zerglings with them, though, but they will be taken out here. And I don't think that was worth it for Siegfried here. But yeah, the Liberator's getting work done here. 2 kills is not too bad. Queen will inch forward, though, and take him out now. And that will be that as well. Boom, goes the Liberator. All in all, we are pretty equal. I think Siegfried is in a super good position worker-wise. He seems to have done what he needed. Because usually turn's not supposed to be ahead at this stage of the game, I believe. And once the third finishes and hits, I think he will be in a good spot.
Little Baneling Nest. Both players were floating a little bit when that the fighting was going on.
Yeah, Baneling Nest popping now, as well as a macro hatch and a 4th base as well for the Zerg. Grief's Thread is not looking too shabby either. Surrounded his bases quite nicely. Maybe up here it's a bit lacking, but he will catch it up. And we have an SCV transfer down to the 3rd now.
I think the Creep Thread is just a consequence of losing those Hellions at the front.
Yeah, and of course Zerg has a lot of queens to spread that creep. And that's so so good to have if you go Ling Bling Muta versus Bio. The creep spread is essential.
What, 12 banelings morphing in, and 1/1's about to. Oh, it did finish. That's nice.
Yeah, it finished. Zerg is 1-1 complete. 2-2 is starting now. Meanwhile, Terran will have 1-1 in a second. There's a short window where Terran is actually not able to keep up in the upgrades, and it looks like we're gonna have an attack here. Siegfried loses 2 Marines and picks up, gets the fuck out of there. And now you can see here the creep has been spread as well, so the early warning system for run dice towards this top middle base is in place as well. Of course, Terran would like to take out some creep, but it's very dangerous. Manages to get some of the tumors without taking any damage, though. That's a nice pickup, but the queens are there to replenish even before the creep manages to retreat. Coming in again, moving even further on creep. Banelings are there though, they get taken out. Oh, nice pickup there. So many Banelings die to those Marines. And those are expensive units. Even though Zerg is floating quite heavily now, you don't want to be wasting gas.
Man, he lost about 9 banelings there, and he hit this nice little timing there before speed was done, and the lings had just moved away.
Indeed. Now we see Hydralisks on the way, as well as the prelude to Hive here with the Infestation Pit. And playing very upgrade heavy is Zerg here. But Terran only very slightly behind in upgrades. And it all comes down if he wants to use the window that he gets. He's taking out some rocks now to have better mobility. And the creep spread doesn't look like it has been killed at all, to be honest. Half the map's fully creeped here.
Yeah, with the exception of the creep spread, I would say things are going pretty good for Siegfried as well. He's a little behind in the upgrades, but comfortably getting up to 4 bases isn't that bad. It's just the creep is a growing problem.
Absolutely, and it's only going to get worse. And there's Banelings and Lings out, of course. And on creep, he cannot engage this at all. And if Zerg can get this around, this is actually going to be bad for Siegfried here. Let's zoom out a bit. Ooh, he gets on top of the siege tanks. Oh god, the Baneling hits. Wow. There's so much Zerg left over. I don't know if Siegfried can hold on here.
Yeah, we have about a 50 army supply differential.
The upgrades are equal up
lift
now.
this base.
It's not gonna get away. Hydras are super fast killers. Ooh, dies. Loses his 4th base here. Siege tanks managed to hold the line, but the reinforcements for Zerg are coming in. He's almost maxed again. He still has a bank. Siegfried in a pickle here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that battle took place right on the edge of the creep, making it so the Hydras could actually get to the army, and the Banelings and the Lings got right in on.
Absolutely, the creep is as you said, it's the one thing that's working against Siegfried here at this moment. The Zerg is maxed now, and any second he waits will make Siegfried stronger, so Siegfried can only hope that Zerg is not going to attack right away with his army lead. He's almost equal in army again. There's only a 30 supply difference now, which is not that huge. Terran armies tend to be worth more than Zerg army when it comes to equal supply. And Siegfried started to mix in Marauders. I like it. But Hive is almost done.
Yeah, if you can hang on until 3-3 finishes, he's going to have that first. I like the spread of tanks here in between the third and fourth as well.
Ooh. Banelings rolling into tanks, being able to take them out, but there's more, as you said, tanks are spread out well, and looks like Siegfried taking a good engagement here.
Yeah, I'd like to see him take this opportunity to get rid of some of this creep through the middle.
Absolutely. You can just never engage onto this, and Zerg is gonna know eons ahead of anything happening here. Something comes across.
Oh, we got the Ultra Cavern and a Spire down.
Wow, again, double high tier units coming up. The Crackling upgrade is on the way, as well as 3-3 now started. But Terran is up in upgrades, and looks like ship weapons are being developed as well. Probably for a possible Broodlord defense here by Siegfried.
We got about 20 lings off on the 3 o'clock portion of the map, looking to sneak.
And they're going to do that now. The siege tank is ready though, and they will die without doing anything. Meanwhile, on the other side of the engagement, Zerg is just rolling through Terran here. But at a high cost, lots of the Hydras died. Almost, yeah, there's still a couple of Banelings left, and Siegfried is forced to GG here. Yeah, well, the army was quite in favor of Vedinevin. I guess he didn't have anything left here. Was forced to GG out.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the creep spread like that, that's going to be a really long game for Siegfried to try to claw back in.
Yeah, that's true. The creep spread was so good, and if you can't, thanks for the follow, Draz. If you can't keep it back, it's super hard, especially with bio. Like with mech, I don't think it's. I'm not sure if it's that relevant with mech, but with bio, with the Banelings, if the Banelings can't connect with the Marines, your bio just evaporates.
You give Siegfried credit too. I mean, he tried to push back. It's just anytime he did, there were 3 queens waiting to replace the tomb.
Absolutely. No, there was just it's so hard to keep up with that. So hard to keep up with that. Would you do the honors, please?
Oh yeah, okay. So in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, wearing the winner of the previous game, we have FXB Vedinevin.
Facing off versus Green Terran, with all inspiration, Siegfried. Is currently down 1-0 in this best of 3 ace match here. We're starting up with the ace match today, because why not? And let's see if Siegfried can bring it back and make it a series, or if he's gonna, if his opponent is gonna close out the series here. Well, the series, the ace match, and take the point. You're welcome, Dress. It's my pleasure.
I always like watching Zerg players and the scouting paths their overlord. It's really interesting to me.
Okay. For
I like how he
for hiding your DT shrines out of the map.
Well, I mean, I've played about 200 games of Zerg too, and I always die to stuff that's hidden that I don't know where it commonly goes.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know. Especially because sometimes, depending on your league, they just don't put it where they should be, you know? Just put it in a random fucking spot and you completely miss it. The only thing you can really find out what's going on is if you scout their base and you notice something's off, and then you know there's something somewhere. And then you just send a frantic ling running across the map finding it, or trying to find it. I think that's how you have to do it. But then again, I'm a plat/low diamond Zerg, so what do I know? Reaper. No opposition here. 4 lings are out now, but as discussed earlier... Oh, Siegfried actually sloppy there with the Reaper. Greedy, trying to bomb the drone. I think he got it as well, but lings take out the Reaper, and that's not what you want to happen. Now you don't have eyes on what Zerg's doing across the map.
The drone died while in midair. It was really awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's definitely not worth it to lose the Reaper for one drone.
No. You can't lose that Reaper. You need to spot what's the follow up here, what's happening, when the move out is, try to deny the third, whatever. And it looks like we're gonna see roaches. Pretty early roach warren here by Vedeneven. Of course, he is aware that Siegfried can't scout really at the moment, unless he was willing to sacrifice a mule.
Oh, I don't know if the Overlord's gonna make it.
No, he's not.
Just barely.
Yeah, it was close. But that
I
Overlord
like
is budgeted in to be lost, so it's no big deal.
I like the Trike Hellions.
Yeah, the Mad Max Hellions.
Yeah, those are so nice.
Oh, these are not the Mad Max ones, I think. These are the Trike. Yeah, these are cool. There's enough links out, though, I believe, to fuck up those Hellions. 6 roaches on the way as well. And the question is, will it be spotted? Or will he hide them? Doesn't look like he's hiding them. Although he knows where the Hellions are, of course. Oh, the roaches are moving out. They're not going to deal with the Hellions. They're just going across the map straight away. And this will hit like a bus. Probably going to turn some of those... Yeah, there we go. Some of those into Ravagers. He lost the Scouting Overlord, so that's in Siegfried's favor. He also has a Viking out.
Yeah, but with all the add-ons being built, there isn't exactly a lot of units back at home for Siegfried at the moment. We have 2 Marines.
Indeed. Well, he's getting a siege tank, and so he will be able to hold the high ground, but he will probably lose the low ground here, especially because the wall is not finished. There's so much Zerg here now. This is a committed attack. Look at it. Oh, actually, oh, he can get in now. The SCVs are blocking the depot. And this is a GG. Vedeneven taking the game number 2 as well. Putting up the Formless Bearsloths 1-0. Well, it's not gonna be a backwards order, but we're gonna show Havoc versus Mew last, because all the CTL players know the rest of the matches outcomes, I think, and only I know what Havoc versus Mew was the outcome. So we're gonna play that one last, but we're gonna... Yeah, we might actually go set number 6 now, why not? There we go.
When you have all the replays, you're not bound by time.
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want.
Indeed. Which is what I'm gonna do. And now we finally have something to talk about. I'm a Zerg, you're a Protoss. We can finally show our expert sides here in this match. In the top left, it's Formless Bearsloths. Red Protoss, it's Rex City.
You've got to love it when a Protoss's name is Rex City.
Yeah, man.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg for all in. It's Pisosa.
With the Rex trick. Overlord's out now. Let's see what Pisosa opens with. I think he likes to go early pool in these situations, like where he doesn't know if there's going to be cheese or not. And that's what he does. Pisosa usually doesn't cheese himself. He just likes to be safe and get roaches and kill his opponent with lots of roaches. That's what he usually does.
I like it.
See if he deviates from this strategy here at all. If you ask him for a pointer towards your third play, just say, yes, get more roaches. That's the extent of the strategy he's willing to share with you.
I'll write that down.
Fair enough, man. I mean, Roaches are good, especially early in mid game. Just need to get enough of them fast enough and you can win any game. Even Immortals are powerless if they are outnumbered to 20 to 1.
Unless there's a Warp Prism.
Yeah, those are a thorn in my side, to be honest.
Everything's completely standard over here for Rack City. Went Gate Gas Nexus.
So no cheese. What
started as Zealot though.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask about that. I've not seen people start with Zealots very often. Usually it's either an Adept or a Stalker.
Sort of depends. I'm not sure with this pool timing.
Oh yeah, well okay, he saw the early pool, right? Did he?
Yeah, it's always nice to
Yeah,
have something out to plug the hole, especially when you're not sure when the Lings are gonna get.
Are Adepts still flunky when it comes to plugging holes?
I haven't had any problems.
Because I remember there being a problem that somehow the Adept was not as broad-shouldered as the Zealot, and sometimes the Lings could sneak past.
Yeah, this kind of wall always makes me nervous too, because there's only one hex you can stand.
Yeah.
But he's done a good job, and there's not a lot of surface area available on the side.
It's true. Cybercore's pretty safe there. And getting a Stalker now, probably to deal with any Overlords, might be coming in. Twilight Council on the way as well. Still pretty standard, I believe. Lots of gas going down now for Pisosa. Because roaches need gas, of course. Roachworn is on the way. Adept not letting the Shade finish. Scouting around. Making the Zerg nervous with the Shade. And this one might finish now. Yeah, there we go. Lings are on him though. Will he even get a probe? I don't think so. Nope. Not even a Ling died to that Adept. That was a complete failure. He should feel bad.
There was like a weird body block there where the Adept was freaking out for a moment.
Yeah. He's in Protoss heaven now, if there's such a thing. Probably within the Kala or something, I don't know. Being shouted at by Phoenix.
Got the Dark Shrine warping in with a Robo, so might try to do a little bit of Dark Templar harass, although the Overlord sees it with plenty of
Rube Despair, yeah.
I just don't even bother at this point. I just immediately
just cancel it.
Warp an Archon.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that extreme. Just cancel everything and throw down 3 Stargates.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you probably totally fucking throw him off then. And all of a sudden there's a carrier army instead of warp. What are you gonna do with your roaches now, boy?
Yeah, you got it's a classic. It's the 2 base, 3 gas carrier opening.
Yeah. I mean, you only need about 8 of them to be viable, I guess.
Interesting. Pisosa added on the second Evo chamber, and we're just skipping a Spore in the Nat and the main in favor of a Overseer.
And the Warp Prism is ready now with 2 Archons, and there's gonna be roaches waiting for it.
Looks like Rack City's looking to take the 530 Nexus here. With really light defense, 1 Stalker.
Gets spotted right away. See what Pisosa decides to do against that. He saw the Warp Prism now, I believe? Yeah, he did.
Think he's gonna let him have that 30. Started up some drones.
Ooh! Oh, that was so close, that Archon, man. Wow. Keep in mind, they only have like 40 HP or something. 5?
I think it's like 10. I think it's 10.
Super low anyway. It's like 1 or 2 hits and then it dies.
Yeah, so now he's got to be real careful with that Archon.
Yeah, it's still shieldless. It's starting to regenerate now. I think they regenerate inside. Yeah, it's 10 HP. Do they not regenerate inside the prism?
They do. It just takes a while. I mean, it's at least over a minute before you start getting any durability back on the.
Okay. I needs to be careful there with the warp prism. The queens can shoot that down. Some Ling died here, I guess. Stalker taking out those 2 Lings, and there's a lot of Zealots out now with an Immortal as well. Ooh, the Archon's still super low. Shield gone again. And he has to be careful which one he lands down now. The Queen is super low though, and it's gonna take it out. It's so annoying. You can't really deal with this without getting air. Or more Queens.
Oh, yeah, but he's not going to take any real damage from it. No. And he's got up to a healthy drone count. He's got the upgrade lead, despite the fact that we got double Forge from Rack City. Double Forge and double Robo. This is extremely expensive.
Yeah, it's super gas heavy. But then again, if he's going to build Zealots, he doesn't need a lot of gas.
Our Immortal count is approaching the Zealot count.
Wow.
Which is bad news if P. Sosa loves his roaches. Although that is a ton of roaches moving out.
Yeah, he's headed with the fucking Archon drops now. He's just gonna go for it and try to take out this 3rd base here. And the Immortals are not down there. They're still up.
And which way are we going here?
I don't know. It looks like up. Ooh, wow, so many.
15 Ravagers?
Wow, that is brutal. Biles incoming. I think they can one-shot the gateway.
He's got him on the wrong side of the roaches, though.
Oh, he hits an Immortal with them. An Immortal not as good versus Ravagers as they are versus Roaches, to be honest.
No, this is a terrible spot to take this fight for the Protoss.
Wow. Wow, Sosa shutting this down hard.
Just the absolute perfect timing on this attack.
Yeah, and perfect engagement as well. He had a super high concave advantage there. Forcing Protoss to attack up a ramp. It's never what you want to do as any race.
And with 15 army supply, I think it's about it.
Yeah, this is so over. Super strong timing attack here by Sosa, taking us back. Current score 1-1.
Wow, what a great attack.
Absolutely. Well played, Sosa. Okay. Okay, Dras. Oh well, don't underestimate the Sosa, man. He can fuck you up if you let him. Duttles. I believe I've played Duttles. Name means something to me, I don't know. Anyway, yellow. On automaton in the lower left. It's Formless Bearsloths. Duttles.
And at 2 o'clock, we have everyone's favorite Pokemon. All in missing number.
It's a CVZ, and CVZs are knife fights. CVZs are brutal. CVZs are fast. And we have missing number with the early pool here. Looking to be aggressive.
I'm always suspicious when my opponent starts typing to me a lot in a ZV.
You know when I get suspicious? When he starts typing at like a minute into the game and he starts typing GLHF. That's like 90% sure you're cheesing if you do that.
Well, early on in the game, I'm thinking, shouldn't you be setting up your camera hotkeys or something right now? Why aren't you interested in doing that at the moment?
Well, you know, if you cheese hard enough, you don't need camera hotkeys, let me tell you. Then again, it is hard. It is really hard to cheese in ZVZ. I mean, what is there? There's 12 pool that doesn't really do anything. Then, except putting you far behind. And then there's of course there's the weird shit like double spine, 12 drone, 4 ling rush or something. But let's be honest, this doesn't work on automaton. This map, the roster is way too high here. Nevertheless, we see lings for missing number moving across the map, probably trying to take out this hatchery. Now they're gonna be late to the party because remember the hatchery does have no armor while building. Now it has armor and has knives as well, so be careful. Because this hatchery has knives. Can you see it? Huge fucking kitchen knives there.
The Zergling runs into it, does it just die?
No. Sadly, no.
So it looks like he took the long way around to try to hide the lings, but unfortunately the second overlord for Duddles spotted the reinforcing ones coming across.
Well, you would get 4 lings anyway, and pulling the drones is actually the right move, but now that it can't get us around, it's actually gonna be dicey, and it looks like missing number is gonna take a good engagement here. He took out enough drones, I think, to be ahead. Yes, indeed. I mean, his hatch is not finished, but it's gonna be soon, and the lings are still alive. Getting a nice round here, and another couple of lings. That's another larva wasted for Duddles here.
Wow, Duddles +1 melee is already half done. Starting
That's
it
crazy.
long before speed.
Wow.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a +1 ling attack. It's of course strong. I myself I prefer to go +1 armor because then you can survive bending hits. And I go +1 speed occasionally versus Protoss actually. Super strong. Getting a Baneling Nest is missing number, and then the +1 is not gonna matter because the Baneling still takes out a ling even if it has +1. Baneling Nest going up as well though for Duddles. Now the +1 doesn't make any sense because if you're gonna go on Baneling fight, you really want the armor. Shout out to Pisosa because he smacked me. Says let's go Rexity in chat.
So we got speed way behind for missing number. But it looks like he's got that's a pretty decent worker lead at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And he
saw the Evo chamber, but I'm not sure he knows which upgrade was selected.
Well, it's not gonna matter once he gets roaches out. He's gonna be in a super good shape, and it looks like he's transitioning now. I hate this map for this build because you can't really wall off on this map. It's a bit stupid.
Man. Yeah, that looks like a nightmare.
Yeah. You'd have to spread creep and wall off here straight down, but it's inconvenient. You don't want to waste drones on a creep. Duddle's now sending lings across the map to scout out what missing number is doing. But he has a decent amount of lings and banes, and speed is finished now as well, so no advantage there. The only advantage is the +1 attack. Missing number going for +1 missile attack. And one ling manages to get in here and scout everything out. And he's gonna go right now because he needs to make something happen before too many roaches pop out. And 16 more lings on the way for Duddles. Where is he moving down here?
Yeah, Duddles has got about a 40 Zergling lead here. So he's obviously going to try to make something happen.
Mind you, those are +1 Zerglings, so they're going to be super strong versus roaches, super strong versus buildings. But there's one thing they are weak against. You see those spiky boys here? The green stinky spiky boys? Those will be brutal. Oh god. Oh dear lord! Dear lord! Duddles, no! Oh god. Oh god.
Well, he's still up about 30 lings.
Well, that was brutal, man. Oh, no. You can't engage this. That's the problem. If those had +1 Carpus, it would have been a different story altogether. But now how are you going to engage into two? There's still 2 Banelings. What are you going to do? Roach is out now as well. And if those... Oh, he's going to get into the main though. There's still Banelings out. Oh, another big hit. Oh, the Banelings really saving missing numbers ass here. Jesus Christ.
We have a lot of drones going down in the main.
He still has a drone lead though. Duddles needs to do game-ending damage here, otherwise he'll just be behind.
Oh no, there's a hole in the wall.
Okay, so Duddles
between
managed...
the Evo chambers.
Duddles managed to get ahead in Lings. But once the roaches hit a critical number, and they have +1 now, so they kill Lings in 2 hits. It's gonna be hard. It's super dicey. Super dicey to tell who is ahead. Duddles is up in workers. But I feel army-wise, we have missing number in the lead here with the roaches, tech-wise and army-wise. I mean, Banelings are not going to do anything versus the roaches.
Carapace finishing up for Duddles.
Okay, that's good actually. So he can survive, I think, 2 hits again. But look at those roaches plowing through those Lings. It's brutal. And army-wise, missing numbers looking super strong, but he has to get across the map to make something happen. If he wants to stay ahead, because worker-wise, missing number is in the lead, albeit only a very small amount of 3 workers. They're both making army. 3 workers on the way though from the missing number.
Do you want to move across the map with slow roaches at this stage?
Yeah, you want to go make damage.
Well, your third's faster, although I'm not sure he's seen the third going down yet.
Well,
but he would see
the problem is, if you don't go, your opponent will just have roaches out, or possibly he could... If you see a lot of Lings, you could expect mutas, and if he gets mutas into your base, you can never leave your base. So you basically have to get... Because mutas will kill roaches while they're walking across the map. But once you are across the map with the roaches, you can actually do damage. That's where your roaches want to be, across the map. Those Banelings are not going to do as well, by the way, because we now have +1 Carapace. See, they survive.
Oh, I thought Duddles was going to go around, but looks like he comes back to attack the army.
Well, he could have gone for a base trade, possibly. Now it's looking very bad for Duddles, to be honest. I'm not sure he can hold this. There's not enough, because Lynx won't cut it versus +1 roaches. And that's a lot of roach here. Hatchery that has been softened up by the early Lings is still low and will die here pretty fast. There's some Lings across the map, but the Queen will be able to hold it. The Ling reinforcements for missing numbers should be able to defend. And losing your natural, that is brutal for a Zerg. There is some Lings over here, but there's a lot of Banelings now waiting for any reinforcements.
Yeah, that fight just went too poorly for Duddles. It was actually surprisingly difficult to spot the Banelings in that roach. They all sort of blended in there. I'm not sure he saw them. And
Duddles is forced to call GG. I think he might have lost that game in the initial Baneling taking out half his Lings there. I think that might have been a potentially game-ending moment. If he gets into the base with 40 Ling advantage, I think he might be able to take out enough stuff to kill. But like this, it's tough. Anyway, well played by both. Strong attacks, strong counters, and brutal Baneling hits. Oh, now we're gonna see Anne playing versus Power Thirst. In the bottom right, we have Formless Bearsloths. Power Thirst, the purple Zerg.
And at 11 o'clock, we have the Red Terran all in.
All in's Anne, exactly. That was cut off again. I was not sure if you were, but you probably said it, so.
Oh, that's my bad. I got pushed to talk. I must be letting go too early.
Yeah, man, don't be hasty with the push to talk. You need to give it some time. Power Thirst a fan favorite? Why, Draz? What's the story there? We have some time to kill until the builds crystallize out here. Everybody in Formless Bearsloths likes Power Thirst. Okay. Well, that's nice.
That's where the best nicknames come from nowhere.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, okay. Okay, we have a pool going down here before, no, after. So everything is pretty standard here. I like that someone told Formless Bearsloths that we are casting this, and they are all here watching. So
yeah, it makes it a
shout
lot
out
of
to
fun.
you guys. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm trying to be a bit more impartial than I would be usually, just to make it fair for everyone. But of course, just know that my heart beats for all in. So no offense though. Thank you, dude. That's so nice to hear. Appreciated. Okay, so N is going 1-1-1 after expansion, which is super standard, and Power Thirst is going hatch first into Link Speed. So no shenanigans here. Looks like they both want to play a nice macro game. Thank you for the follows, guys. Trumpet and let's go Rex City.
What do you think about the 3 o'clock base? As opposed to taking the pocket one.
I don't... Is it a pocket one? Where's the pocket base? There's no pocket base.
Well, the one that the Reaper's.
Well, it's not really a
relaxing
pocket
at.
base. Well, I would take the north base as well, because Terran can really fuck you up with a dropship here. You can just bounce in between the bases and you're running around forever. It's a bit harder if the base is up north, because Terran has to fly over a longer way to get between all three bases. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think there's actually a larger distance you have to run, and one more attack path you have to cover if you take the left base.
Well, it's still 2 points. You can defend here, and you can defend down here. But for me, it's just here you're on the high ground, so it's normally easier to defend from a high ground position than from a low ground position. And here you would be on the low ground. So I would definitely take this base, but solely due to the fact that I'm traumatized by Terrans with dropships by a guy called Neo Surfer, who was a Null Inspiration, still is, I believe. And he traumatized the shit out of me with dropships. So I'm really, the only thing I consider versus Terran is how bad can dropships fuck me up, and then that's it. Where I take the base depends solely on that.
That's fair enough.
Looks like we're gonna have a little Hellion attack here by N. Power Thirst has lings out, has queens out, though not as many. Yeah, 5 queens, that's enough, I guess. It's the standard amount.
And we have a third command center.
Third CC. Of course, you gotta get ahead as Terran, right? Gotta build those CCs. I've seen a lot of Terrans on ladder, like after the initial push, if they do well, they just expand like 2 or 3 times, and then you go across the map and there's like bases everywhere, and you're like, what? What happened? Okay. Yeah, but Power Thirst here, creep spreading very nicely. Gonna see the Hellions now, and they will bypass the Queens if they're fast enough. They could have done. But now they're forced to go back. The Lings will have time to get into position and possibly surround some of the Hellions here by Anne. And we have a Liberator killing stuff. 4 or 5 kills here. Brutal. Even killing the innocent larvae. The drone flapping helplessly while it burns up into ash. Freedom is a brutal thing, man. Those poor drones. Finally taken out here is the Liberator after doing his completing his life's work, so to say. Power Thirst is up in workers, which is to be expected at this phase of the game, I would say. And looks like N is gonna be up in upgrades though. Stimp is done. Combat shields are on the way. +1/+1 will finish. Okay, it's basically equal. Zerg will have +1 earlier. Taking out the
Hellions got cornered.
2 managed to get away. Can only imagine the conversation in those two Hellions. Run, drive! Faster! They're everywhere! Boom! Siege tank. Friendly fires the fuck out of that Hellion, man. Feels bad, man. And there is a quite strong an army here for N, to be honest. I like it. There's a lot of links out for Power Thirst, but no, I did not see. Did I see a Baneling Nest? Yes, okay, we have Baneling Nest Hydroden out as well as a Macro Hatch. So Power Thirst is not looking too shabby either. Has his 4th out. Oh, catching that siege tank unsieged is huge. It's only 1 so far, but easily taken out here by Power Thirst. Siege tank's not getting off a single shot because, again, they were unsieged.
I think Power Thirst is going to just drone a little bit after that, now that he's weakened the inevitable push.
Yeah.
They were even on workers for a little while.
Now we have 6 workers on the way, and already Power Thirst is up 10 workers again. Boom. That's how it goes. Zerg just presses D and makes drones. Again, siege tanks here, unsieged. Lings moving in. It's too much Marines though. Power Thirst realizes this and saves what he can. Wise decisions were made. Baneling's out now, no speed on the way yet. And off-creep Banelings are not the best versus anything really. But they're good for run-bys. So if you can sneak them in here and detonate them on those unsuspecting SCVs, it's going to be in a phenomenal spot. And creep spreading is done quite heavily here. Especially
yeah, he's got to
north.
start spreading tumors to the south here. It's really good on the north, but there isn't an active tumor on the main attack. So the Queens decided to rectify that situation, and now he's spreading creep towards the center of the map again.
Indeed. Could also be a bit better down here, like where he's gonna having a drone chilling out there down south at the 6 o'clock position. But all in all, it's looking very good, and Terran's gonna have a hard time attacking from the north. Link's just chilling, and poor SCV is gonna have a bad day at work.
He didn't give up. He was still trying to build that command center.
Yeah, he was trying to go around there. Ooh, that's ballsy going forward there by Anne, but justified. So because off-creep Banelings aren't the best, as I said. There's another run by preparing here to go for the mineral line. There's a lot of SCVs there. 27 SCVs. Ooh, this
is going to be aided by the fact that it's not a planetary.
Oh, he decided to rally them. Oh, that's Power Thirst, dude. you need to go in there and kill those SCVs, man. Oh, brutal.
Oh no.
God.
So now the issue is he has to survive this attack by Anne, which is looking terrifying.
Oh boy, I think he can survive the attack, but look at the worker count, man. I mean, okay, Terran has mules, but mules can only go so far. I mean, Hydras are not the best versus Bio Siege Tank, to be honest. I don't like them.
We have even upgrades. This is 5 or 6 tanks and a whole lot of stim bio with 7 men.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the banelings don't have speed.
That's the
It's
biggest
not
oversight,
done.
I think. Well, he's getting it now, but it should have been done a while ago, I believe. And it's gonna be so hard to attack in here with all those siege tanks. It's gonna go for the surround, it seems. I like it, but there's Marines in the back, taking out the surrounding force, even taking out the banelings before they can connect, and all of a sudden, Anne is doubling Power Thirst's supply in army. Even though he is low on workers. Once again, there's going to be a run by.
Like 10 medevacs drop 8 bio in the main.
Well, it's super scary, of course, if you see 10 medevacs flying through your main, you're freaking out as a Zerg.
We have a Ling counterattack as well. They're just biting away at the rallied Marine.
Indeed. Everything is blinking here. But right now, I like the situation for N, to be honest. He's killed the Hydra then. If he can take out the proxy hedge and maybe some of the Hydras as well. Every Marine here has his own dedicated medevac healing him. He has still a lot of stuff here not doing anything. Where the 4th base was, or the 5th.
Well, Power Thirst has got the 2 o'clock base up and mining.
Baneling Nest was taken out. So no more Banes for the moment. Is he remaking it? Nope, currently not, but it's getting +3/+3. And an empty production tab here for Anne.
Yeah, I'd say Anne had this in the bag if he had just a little bit more income to push through.
Yeah, well, those 27
that's a
SCVs going
army
down.
coming.
Wow.
That's another big Terran army.
Yeah, there's no Banelings.
We don't have any Baneling.
No Banelings out at all. Power Thirst is going to go for the run by. And we might have a base trade scenario. And there's one thing you never want to do versus Terran, which is base trading. I don't think I've ever won a base trade versus Terran. Unless I had air. Because Terran has buildings that can fly. Ling's now going in the back, taking out one siege tank, lowering another one to almost 0. But all the army evaporated once again here for Power Thirst, and it looks like a fan favorite's gonna go out.
Well, we got 6 Ultras on the way, but they're not gonna have any bases to defend.
They're gonna be 3/3 though, and they have the Carpus is almost finished as well. The titanium scales, or what's called. I don't remember.
It's chitinous plating, I think.
Ah, exactly. But yeah, no Banes, and worker count is plummeting now as well for Power Thirst, and there's still a lot of Terran left over. And of course the Ultra is going to be super scary once they pop. Especially if Terran only has 2-1. Oh.
And they found a 1 Marauder Terran army to fight, so that's about best case scenario when you're down this much.
Siege tanks managed to take out the... Siege tanks managed to take out the Ultralisks in the end. The Marines wouldn't have done shit against them, especially once Chitinus was finished. I think 3 Marines to 1 damage to +3 Chitinus Ultras, so that's not gonna go well, is it?
I don't think so. I think the big thing there is we just needed Baneling speed to be done for that big attack. Although Anne was super prepared for the surround there on the high ground, having that extra bit of bio in the back. I don't know that could have gone much differently, even with Baneling speed. That was just a really good attack.
Yeah, very strong attack, even though he took out 1,000,000 SCVs with those Banelings, which was super strong.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 SCVs at once.
Yeah, yeah, about 27 SCVs on the mineral line alone, plus those on the gas, so that was brutal. Going into set 1. because we're gonna do set 3 in the end as our decider. And currently all inspirations up, not 3-2 but 3-1 in a best of 7. So all in needs one more win to win, I think. Let's see if we can make it happen. In the top right of New Repugnancy, we have the pink Protoss. It's Formless Bearsloths, Draz.
And in the bottom left, we have an orange Protoss, all in Soulless.
So, PvP. It used to be 4-gate versus 4-gate. Whoever didn't go 4-gate lost. Whoever lost the Stalker first lost. How's it these days?
PvP has always been interesting since those days, anyway.
Oh yeah, that's a good input, Draz. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Liz, because Solus is actually playing random. And he got Protoss.
Oh, and we have an issue developing.
There's a cannon rush. It's a brutal cannon rush as well.
Oh yeah, we already have a full wall. That probe is safely tucked in the corner.
Well,
oh, we've gotten through though.
Why did he cancel? I don't understand. What?
I am not sure. I guess we're just gonna start the cannon rush up again from the low ground.
I'm confused. I mean, he walled.
So he's walled himself in.
Oh, actually, he has a okay. So this is making more sense now. This cannon is gonna go up no matter what. Okay,
well, Solus is gonna be able to get that zealot out inside the wall, which is nice, but I don't know that it's gonna be able to do anything about the cannon, especially with the other one going up on the low ground. So at some point, Solus is gonna lose, I think, a gateway here.
Indeed. And don't they even think the Zealot can take out a cannon? I'm not sure. Can he? Oh, the second one will be able to.
Oh, we have a second one.
But there's still high ground vision. There's still a pylon. There's still a drone. Another pylon going up. The gateway is up. The gateway is really crucial.
I think Solus has got to give this up with the probes and just go back to mining and start trying to chrono boost stalkers. I don't think Zealot's the right way to go.
The gateway is actually crucial because the other things could have been taken out, but the gateway has so much HP, it can't be taken out fast enough to deny the high ground vision. Gateway going down, and it looks like this will spell disaster for Solus here. Draz has this in the bag, I believe, with a super committed cannon rush attack. There's nothing at home at all except a forge. But if your opponent can't get anything across the map, it's gonna be GG. Draz takes the game. Let me fix the scoreboard. So I'm gonna do this. So we now have best of 7, and it's 3-2 in maps. That should be more. It's because it's confusing me. Okay. That. Going into game number 2, set number 2. What did you spam, Trumpet? My bot is a bit restrictive, I'm sorry. I don't think I have a mod online at the moment either, so. You're gonna have to stop capsing so hard, I guess. Worst case, I can still ban the bot. Okay, so set number 2. In top right of year 0, it's all inspirations. Asmodine, the Green Terran. Please don't do any Protoss things, he says.
Yes, with a futile request. And at the top left, we have a purple Protoss, FXB Coast. Sorry, I keep forgetting the name of this clan.
Formless Bearsloths. Bearsloths, I guess? Not Bearsloths?
So, as a Protoss player, is it bad form for me to just point out that this happens to be my favorite matchup at the moment?
Well, it's one of the classic.
I've always loved this matchup.
I understand. I mean,
Looks like we have a mineral line Reaper wall, electing not to wall the ledge in the bottom right corner of his base. His code.
yeah, I mean, versus Terran, it sucks to have a wall on the ramp because Marines can usually outrange you. There's also a random pylon down in the center right position.
Yes, random is the correct word for that pylon.
Well, it's a proxy pylon, but there's just no proxy next to the pylon, so... What are these Shogun nexuses? They have like the Shogun things on top. Looks like one of these Japanese masks thingies. It's a bit weird. Okay. Whatever floats your boat, Protosses. Whatever floats your boat. Terran not doing anything out of the ordinary. Probably going for a 1-1-1 after command center here. And we still don't have anything suspicious except the random pylon from coast either. Yeah, it's not on his side of the map. It's there we go. Proxy gateway. Okay. So we're gonna have fast warp-ins over here. A second, bro, that doesn't make any sense now. That doesn't make any sense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you built those gateways at home, right? Because you're gonna have warp gate anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. This is a little strange. Now, granted, Asmodene won't be able
To see the gates.
see the gateway,
Fair
so
enough.
that's still sort of hidden. But at this time, when the Reaper shows up, he's looking for like a robo already.
Yeah, there should be tech out, and there's no workers either, so it's a 22 worker all in, I guess. Asmodene's getting a bunker anyway. And a third gateway, okay.
Well, a fourth gateway.
Well, a fourth gateway, a third proxy gateway. Where's the drone, though? There we go. The lobster. Is the lobster gonna attack the gateways if they get too many? If they encroach on his terrain here? The centipede? Guess not. Okay. They're peaceful creatures. Unlike these marines. Look at these marines, man. Wow. They look brutal.
Asmodene certainly smells that something is up.
Oh yeah, he knows
With the
something
bunker
is
already,
coming.
and an SCV parked behind it, and getting a tank. And this proxy is so far away. I'm a little concerned.
Well, I personally I think the tank should be a bit further back, but I don't know. There's no, well, I guess it's versus Protoss, so it's not like they have like biles or anything. But yeah, let's hope he puts some of those mariners into the bunker. Second tank out now. This is looking better and better actually. But stalkers, tanks are not the best
Oh
versus
no,
stalkers.
they're going out!
Oh, he catches them off guard immediately. Oh, that's, well, this
Wow,
is
this is
it.
best case scenario for Coast.
This is it. It just, that's the only thing that could screw up Asmodee is moving out at that exact moment and walking into this proxy and getting his tanks called out of position. I feel if these tanks are sieged up, there's no way Coast is getting in there. Boom.
No, especially with two of them. It's already going to be tough with one, and the Marines in the bunker.
Absolutely. And like this, just like this, it's 3-3. And we're gonna go into the last game, the final game, the one to rule them all, and it's a PvP again. Was played about 2 hours ago, and I don't think anybody knows who won this, at least not on All Inside. I think I'm the only one apart from Havoc who knows. I'm not sure if If Anti-Mew told Bearsloths, okay, they know. Oh well, they know. But soon everybody's gonna know because we're gonna cast it now. The final game, which was game number 3, so it's not the last game. It's not the ace match or anything, but it's the last game that was played chronologically. So I'm gonna cast it now. In the top left, in his favorite color, it's the Teal Protoss, my good friend. It's all inspirations, Total Havoc.
And in the bottom right, we have a yellow Protoss from Formless Bearsloths. It's Anti-Mew.
Anti-Mew, another Pokemon reference, I guess.
Is a Formless Bearsloth a Pokemon I'm not aware of?
No, but Mew is, right?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if this was a Pokemon clan or not.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Intricate scouting patterns here by Anti-Mew and a bit simplistic scouting patterns, but nonetheless very effective here by Total Havoc. So they're all going to know what's going on. And looks like is this a full wall?
Not quite. He'll be able to wall that with a Bylon or a...
Also, the drone is just chilling. Okay.
It's interesting to me. They both scouted early, so you can actually get away with scouting after the Cyber Core and still figure out what the initial gateway units are going to be without losing the...
Yeah, but this is CTL, man. There might be some weird-ass cheese coming your way, you know? I mean, you might be playing versus me, and I might just cheese the fuck out of you. That's what I do.
I guess we already saw that in the first PvP.
Indeed. And they're both going for the exactly same build here, I guess.
Anti-Mew, very concerned about both natural locations.
Yeah, he wants to know the timing, and looks like he's gonna block the expansion here for Havoc, delaying him just a little bit. It's just the thing that Protosses like to do to other players is block their expansions because they're probably, I don't know, assholes. It totally tilts me if they do that to me, by the way, as a Zerg.
So this is a ridiculously fast Nexus from Anti-Mew. This is before any gateway unit.
It's greedy.
And he's fortunately going up against a very passive opener from Total Havoc with the Sentry Stalker. And a second Sentry Stalker.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard to punish this. So I guess early game advantage goes to Anti.
What's the idea behind Sentry Stalker?
Well, it's just nice. So if the opposing Protoss opens with 2 Stalkers, your second and third Stalker will be out in time to reinforce your original one. So you can't be killed by 2 Stalkers even if you go Sentry. And you also end up having a very early Hallucination Scout.
Okay.
Which is actually going out right now.
So the only reason for getting a Sentry is getting the Hallucination out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's very nice.
Deciding to go back though. Ah, there we go. Now he goes in. 2 Stalkers. I'm not sure if they can take out the Hallucination fast enough. They actually can't. Okay. He sees everything. He sees the Twilight Council. He sees it researching.
A very huge Maynard of probes down to the net.
Well, I guess.
That's interesting. So now we have 8 workers in the main and a full mineral line almost at the net for Anti-Mew.
That's weird. Normally, if you transfer, you would want to equalize the count, right? So you can keep building at both nexuses. But like this, it almost seems like he wants to give the impression that he fully saturated his natural, maybe?
Yeah. But the hallucinated Phoenix should have seen the giant probe transfer, so that's probably moot at the moment.
Okay, so Havoc opting for Robotech. Meanwhile, here we see gateways. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna see sellouts.
We've got +1 already finishing up for Anti-Mew. And the Forge isn't even done over here for Havoc.
And the Templar Archive, so we're gonna see Archons, I guess?
Havoc is gonna have the advantage of having a Robo at the moment, although his... Oh no, he already has an Immortal. That's very nice. So he has an Immortal out already, and he's gotten his OBS for detection right after it. And he's gonna start Chrono Boosting +1, try to catch up, although...
+2 is on the way.
Yeah.
For Anti-Mew. Is Immortal any good versus Archons? Because they're giant, right? They're not armored. They're are they?
It's super close between an Immortal and Archon.
Okay.
I think the Archon maybe wins by a shot or something like that, but don't quote me on that. It's very close.
But they're not like hard countering like versus Roaches or versus Stalkers, something like that.
No, I don't think so. I think mostly you're concerned with making Archons to deal with large numbers of Zealots.
Okay.
And they're much better for tanking things.
Okay, so a wall is coming
proxy.
Up here. Yeah, proxy gate down here instead of a Robo with a Warp Prism.
So Havoc had a kind of a large army lead at the beginning here because he constantly made out of his first 2 gateways until they turned into warp gates, but he's already been surpassed. I think that earlier Nexus kicked in already for Anti-Mew. And now he's got quite a significant army lead here, and I'm going to go ahead and favor Charge-a-Lots, at least in the open field, over the mainly Stalker force for Havoc.
Well, the thing is, Havoc kept making workers. He's up in workers, but it's down in army, so it's gonna be interesting if he can stay alive long enough for the worker advantage to kick in here. He's getting Archons of his own, but I don't like the SimCity here. It's something that he does often, and he's gonna block himself in quite heavily here.
Well, Anti-Mew obviously had a plan going into this. Nice big Zealot attack, cutting workers around 36, or exactly at 36, so... This is what I would consider all in at the moment. And a crisp timing because his +2 is already done. The problem is this wall and a couple of batteries is going to be a nightmare for Charge-a-Lots to attack into.
Yeah, especially with Argon standing behind the wall. And we're going to see how that's going to pan out here. Nice force fields there, but they get taken out by the Archons, of course. This looks very good for Havoc at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, Havoc's barely lost any units at all. And this has been stuffed.
He's gonna warp in his own Zealots now. I don't agree with this necessarily. But it looks like he's going outside now. And the sentries are in the front line. That's not what you want to do, Havoc. Don't lose those sentries.
I don't think you need to move out here either. I don't know that it's going to matter, though. With the reinforcements being so much closer for Havoc, I think he's just going to stop this attack. And there's no gases taken at home for Anti-Mew. In fact, he's just still warping Zealots in at this proxy location.
Yeah, well, he's got the Zealot advantage, but there's still an Archon out for both players. Stalker's not the best unit versus Zealots, to be honest, and it looks like out on the field here, those Stalkers can't hold their own versus the Zealots. Templars.
You just have to defend Havoc. He never started as +2, so this +1 attack advantage is going to remain for Anti-Mew. The issue is, it's just Zealots now, and now we're getting a larger... We have 5 Archons. No, 3. My bad.
Taking his gases now is Anti-Mew, but Havoc has a third in the making. He doesn't realize that there's a proxy down here, of course. But Havoc is definitely ahead at this moment. If we look at the... He even has a Warp Prism, so he could technically go across the map, but that's not really what you want to do, because the army of your opponent's right here. And he sees it, so he can react. But this, I think this base will die immediately here to these Zealots. Cancel it, cancel it, cancel it! Boom, okay. Doesn't cancel it. And he realizes that the attack is not over yet.
I know, and out in the open here, these Zealots are getting about the best engagement they can ask for.
Nice pullback by Havoc though into the wall, but it's a bit too late, I guess, and looks like the Zealots will pull through, and now it's Zealots versus Archons and Zealots, and that's not a fight you want to take, especially not in that... okay, he pulls them out of the joke, but the Zealot reinforcements are here, and it looks like Antimu has more gates.
Havoc threw down 4 when he lost his Nexus, but they're not quite... They're only online now. Evacuating the natural.
Speed Zealots now as well for Havoc, but Archons are good at taking those out, and the Archon finally dies from Antimu here, so Havoc might yet hold on, but he's losing his gateways, he's losing his defense, he's losing his wall, and the wall was a big advantage for him so far in this game.
That poor exhausted battery finally fell too.
Yeah.
So Anti-Mew has his third up, but it's not mining. He's only transferring workers now.
Yeah.
He has his gases up and his nat, but they're not. But a 14 worker advantage is very significant.
Indeed.
Especially when it comes down to bashing gateway armies into each other.
Yeah, I mean... The only thing that could have possibly saved Havoc here now, after losing the wall and everything, would be Storm, but there's no Storm inside, and he doesn't have the money either. And slowly he's dwindling away here. And the GG's called, and congrats to Formless Bearsloths for taking the week. And thus, I believe, making playoffs.
Those were some really fun games.
Yeah, that was a good week, man. Interesting games, and I guess we're gonna be heading into a CTL vacation now until next season starts. Not sure how I feel about that, but I guess that's how it is. So yeah, thanks Lewis for casting with me, and thanks everybody for watching. And I'll be putting the WOD online if you want to rewatch it. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah,
good games, guys.
Good games, everyone, and thanks for the watches and the follows and everything, and I hope I'll be seeing you around.